The vice presidential candidates went head-to-head last night in New York in a critical debate with just over a month to go until Election Day.
Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz talking key issues, each looking to gain an edge in a race where the margins are razor thin. Both nominees looking to paint the other ticket as extreme. Walz pointing back to Trump's time in office, calling it, quote, dangerous, while Vance questioned why Harris hadn't accomplished more during her years as vice president. When the topic moved to gun violence, there was actually a moment when Michigan ended up in the spotlight. CBS moderators asking the candidates if they thought charges against the parents of school shooters could deter future violence. Well, you may remember earlier in the year, James and Jennifer Crumbly were each sentenced to 10 years in prison for failing to secure weapons or to provide mental health care for their son before he committed a mass shooting at Oxford High School. It was the first case of its kind in the country and started a nationwide debate over the responsibility of parents in preventing youth gun violence. Vance said that he'd leave that decision over whether to charge parents up to local law enforcement. Walz actually taking a similar stance, saying charges against parents should depend on how that child was able to access the weapon. But their policy opinions quickly then split once again over how to best protect our kids in the classroom.
In our schools, we have to make the doors lock better. We have to make the doors stronger. We've got to make the windows stronger. And of course, we've got to increase school resource officers, because the idea that we can magically wave a wand and take guns out of the hands of bad guys, it just doesn't fit with recent experience.
When we know there's countries around the world that their children aren't practicing these types of drills. They're being kids. We owe it to them to get a fix. These are things that shouldn't be that difficult. You can still keep your firearms, and we can make a difference.
Of course, Walz and Vance covered more than just gun violence in last night's debate. You can find a full breakdown of each candidate's responses on topics, everything from the economy to climate change to the ongoing war in the Middle East. You can find it on our website, fox17online.com.
And fresh off the stage last night, vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is set to make 2 campaign stops here in Michigan today, including one in West Michigan.
Fox 17's Lauren Lenzy and joining us this morning with a look at what's in store today. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning. And J.D. Vance is set and scheduled here at Berlin Raceway to speak at the rally later this afternoon. First, he'll start the day on the east side of the state in Auburn Hills for a rally at 1:30 p.m. Then he's set to be here in Marne for an event at 5:30 p.m. Doors will open at 3:30. Anyone wanting to attend does need to register for tickets ahead of time through the Trump campaign website. The campaign says Vance plans to discuss inflation, the economy, and how he and GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump will lower inflation. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump will also make a stop in Michigan this week. The former president is scheduled to speak at a rally in Saginaw at Saginaw Valley State University tomorrow. On the other side of the ballot, Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris will make a campaign stop in Flint, Michigan on Friday. An RSVP is required for her event, but does not guarantee admission. Now, this is Vance's 6th stop to Michigan since joining the campaign. He last made a stop in Sparta in West Michigan. You can check out our exclusive one-on-one interview from that visit on fox17online.com. For now, reporting from Marne, Lauren Lenzian, Fox 17 News.